Texas is looking like they have what it takes to finish with a third straight top 10 class. But that doesn't cut it for Texas fans. They want a top 5 class this year, and I see a path where the Longhorns can do just that. But first, here's a few names that will be committing this week. Let's take a look at defensive lineman DeAndre Robinson. He's the number 35 ranked defensive lineman in the country and the 406th best overall. Then just 2 days later, we got Corian Gibson. He'll be committing on July 22nd. He's a 4-star, the number 8 ranked cornerback in the country, number 73 overall. So DeAndre Robinson commits on July 20th. He's 6'3.5", 315 pounds. And Texas holds all the cards for him heading into his decision. They are trending heavily, but it looks like UF is the top competition. The Gators are just kind of hanging around in this one. But you got to be aware if you're a Texas fan, because DeAndre Robinson is from Orlando, Florida, and the in-state Gators are making a run on him. Now, 2 days later, after Robinson announces, Corian Gibson will set to make his decision on July 22nd. He's the number 8 cornerback in the country, number 73 overall. And this one really comes down to Clemson or Texas. Now, there's a couple other teams involved, but it seemed like when he took that early June visit to Clemson that a commitment could be coming soon. Kind of the emotions of the visit ran out, and Corian Gibson now looks like he is all Texas. We got to see what happens here in these final few days. You never know what could shake out. I like where Texas sits right now for Corian Gibson, but Texas fans are looking for more. Last year was a top 3 finish. They're currently sitting at number 19 right now, and I'm going to show you how the Texas Longhorns could end up finishing with a top 5 class. You see, UGA currently has number 1 on lock. They're essentially a lock to finish number 1. I don't know if there's anything that can be done about that. Ohio State, they're sitting at 2 or 3. I think that's where they finish. Probably 3 at the lowest, but most likely number 2. After that, really, everything in the class rankings is up for grabs. Of the 18 teams ahead of Texas on Sunday morning, 6 already have 20 commitments or more. 5 teams have 18 commitments or more. That means Texas has plenty of room to ascend up the rankings with maybe as many as 12 spots still left to fill. So let's take a look at some of the big names on the board for Texas as we come towards the end of summer. You got edge, 5-star edge Colin Simmons, 5-star cornerback Kobe Black, 5-star offensive tackle Brandon Baker, 5-star defensive lineman Dominic McKinley, and 5-star wide receiver Ryan Wingo. Whew, that is a lot of stars still on the board for Texas. Let's start at the top with Colin Simmons, the number 1 edge in the country. He visited Texas for an official visit on June 23rd. Also took trips this summer to Alabama, SMU, and Miami. Simmons has not set a commitment date, and I don't think he's in any rush because he has an LSU official visit set for late November. In the end, I think this is a very winnable battle for Texas. I think early on, he said that it was LSU and Texas at the top. I do think Texas is at the top. I don't know right now if LSU is as good of a spot as Texas is. I think the Longhorns' main competition is going to come from in-state Texas A&M. In the end, I know the Aggies aren't in a great spot right now, but I do think that Colin Simmons, when it comes to his decision, location does matter. I think A&M will be a player by the end of this. Now let's move on to 5-star corner Kobe Black. He is a Texas lean, has been one for a while, but he's not ready to end it. He has official visits set to Texas A&M and LSU in the fall. Right now, I would say he's Texas's to lose. Now, the question is, can they close him out before the summer ends? They don't have to, but I think Texas would feel a lot better if Kobe Black, 5-star corner, was on their commit list heading into the fall. But it looks like right now they're still going to be battling it out. I do like Texas there. Offensive tackle. The 5-star offensive tackle, Sorry, Brandon. 5-star offensive tackle Brandon Baker goes 6'5", 300 pounds. There is a possibility that he ends this by the end of summer. He hasn't set a commit date right now, but it is a possibility that a decision could come before the fall. Now, he did take a visit, an official visit to Texas in June, but I kind of feel like Texas they're in the race, but maybe not in the same spot that a team like Oregon is in. Baker's taken numerous visits to Oregon, and I think he's expected back there by the end of July. We'll see what happens. I think the key here, Texas needs Brandon Baker to take this into the fall and then also make it back to campus before he makes that final decision. Let's move on to 5-star defensive lineman Dominic McKinley, 6'5", 280 pounds, out of the state of Louisiana. McKinley's not expected to make his decision anytime soon, and LSU is working hard to keep him home. Now, last year, LSU let 6 of the top 10 players in the state go. They didn't sign with LSU. The Longhorns are hoping Dominic McKinley follows that trend. He took official visits to Oklahoma, Texas, Texas A&M in June. Still has some more left on the board. I think the Sooners are hanging around. Texas is hanging around. We'll see where this one goes. Moving on to 5-star wide receiver Ryan Wingo out of the state of Missouri. Now, when he stepped on campus, it seemed like a bit of a long shot. When he left, Jerry Hamilton told me, hey, Texas has a puncher's chance here. And I think the latest move that Ryan Wingo made, setting his commitment date for December 20th, definitely helps Texas because they needed to get him back on campus. They needed to have a strong showing in the fall. And now with Ryan Wingo not making a summer decision, he's going to take this thing all the way to the December signing day. I do think that Texas, they sit in a position where they are able to strike and possibly land a 5-star talent like a Ryan Wingo. But like I said, I think the key is to get him on campus a time or two before he makes that final decision. All right, so there it is. There's a path there for Texas to make a run at a top 5 class. I think what we need to remember right now, if you're Texas fans thinking, oh, we're at 19 right now, how are we going to make it into the top 5? Well, there's only 14 commitments, and as I said earlier, a lot of teams are already at 20, a lot of teams are at 18, so there is still significant space to fill at Texas, and we just got to see, do they finish top 10 or top 5? Thank you for watching. Make sure you smash that subscribe button for me, and remember to check out all the videos on the On3 YouTube page.